think everyone is very anxious to see a real man back in the White House because, of course, this is Trump's reaction to seeing these armies of drones descending on really important cities and, in some cases, military bases. He takes to Truth Social to write mystery drone sightings over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. I reckon this guy's probably got a legion of these bad boy drones, which we'll get up on the screen for you right now, just to unleash upon these unregistered, unknown drones and unleash, just shoot them all down. Here's a Trump-looking drone. Everyone's like, yes, unleash the Trump drones. Gabby, what do you make of this?
Oh, my gosh. Well, look at the difference in messaging. You've got Trump saying shoot them down, then you've got Mayorkas saying we're onto it, it's all good, and gaslighting, blaming the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and, you know, and how's that expert from CNN calling it an aeroplane? And there are drones that are reportedly the size of SUVs, sending the people in New Jersey just absolutely crazy, not knowing what's going on. And the government just has not been transparent at all about this. So people are going down rabbit holes on X with all the different wild theories out there. Aliens is getting a good run on X as well. But, you know, I think everyone's so excited to see Trump back in the White House and actually getting some action because we need to know what they are. If we don't know what they are, Trump's got a point.
Yeah,
shoot him down.
We wouldn't even still be talking about it if Trump were in the White House. These things would be dead and buried all over the United States. But here's a theory for you by a guy called John Ferguson. He actually creates very sophisticated drones for the government's military, so he knows a thing or two. And he took to Twitter and other social pages to let people know, look, this is just my theory of what's going on here, and also speaking to the fact that he doesn't believe they're doing anything nefarious. Have a listen.
Back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay. We don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that that thing was headed towards the United States, okay? That is a very serious deal.
People in the know, knowing stuff and sharing it now because we have these wonderful platforms in which everyday citizens can just say, look, here's what I know, do with it what you will. Now, John Ferguson goes on to explain that there is absolutely no use of flying a drone at night because they're blind as bats unless they're outfitted with infrared capabilities, which would make it a very serious drone indeed. He says there's only one reason for drones to be flying at night. Here's his explanation as to what he thinks they're up to.
My own guess is that these drones are not nefarious in intent, but if they are drones, the only reason why they would be flying and flying that low is because they're trying to smell something on the ground. That's it. There's no other reason for a drone to be flying in the air. So my belief is they're trying to smell something on the ground. Gas leaks, radioactive material.
They're trying to find this warhead, according to John Ferguson. Let's see, time will tell. But what is President Joe Biden?
It's the obvious conclusion.
What is it?
Until we know more, let's just assume that it's either aliens or drones trying to find a lost nuclear warhead from the 1980s.
Honestly, if you know anything about your world's history, you know that's believable.
That's going viral. It's getting shared 16 million times now.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan has shared it. But look, at least we're getting some explanation from an expert about what it possibly could be.